This is the 3D Viewmaster Fairy Tale Jungle Book from Walt Disney. Viewmaster Reel 1. Picture 1. In the jungles of India lived a boy, Mowgli, who had been raised by a pair of wolves. He had never known any life but that of the jungle among the animals who were his friends. One night, however, the elders of the pack met at Council Rock. Shere Khan, the tiger, has returned to our hounding grounds, said Akela, the wolf leader. He has sworn to kill the man cub, Mowgli. Even the strength of the pack cannot protect Mowgli. The man cub must return to the man village where he was born, back to his own people. Picture 2. Then Bagheera the panther, who had been listening in the background, stepped forward. The jungle is too dangerous for the man cub to travel alone, he said. I know where the man village is. I can take Mowgli there. Akela consented, and Bagheera and the boy started on their journey. Mowgli was rebellious. I want to stay in the jungle, he protested. Now, not another word, ordered Bagheera. It's evening. We'll sleep in this tree tonight. Picture 3. Even the jungle treetops are not safe from Kaa, the python. The big snake saw them climb into the tree and followed. Unseen by the sleepy panther, Kaa thrust his evil face up to Mowgli's. Say now, he hissed. What have we here? It's a man cub, a delicious man cub. With a hypnotizing stare, Kaa began to sway, singing softly, Go to sleep, little man cub. Dazzled, Mowgli began to sway along with Kaa. The python wrapped his coils about the boy. Picture 4. Kaa, shouted Bagheera, who had turned just in time to see the python's huge jaws about to swallow Mowgli. He struck Kaa a mighty blow. At the same time, Mowgli, shaking off the spell, struggled out of the snake's coils. Kaa fell out of the tree, spinning and landing with his tail in a knot. As he started to crawl away, the knot caught in the crotch of a low tree. Pulling it loose with a loud pop, Kaa wriggled away, hissing angrily, This is going to slow down my slithering. Picture 5. It was dawn in the jungle. Mowgli awoke to the pounding of heavy feet below, and the chanting of voices in unison. Up, 2, 3, 4. He looked down. A line of elephants was marching past, led by a pompous male brandishing a stick. In the rear trotted a baby elephant. A parade, said Mowgli. Reaching for a long vine, he swung down to the ground. Bagheera opened one eye sleepily. Oh no, he grumbled. Colonel Hathi and his dawn patrol. Mowgli fell into step with the baby elephant. Hello, he said. What are you doing? Drilling, said the baby. Can I do it too? Asked Mowgli. Sure, just do what I do. Picture 6. Mowgli tried to march and pivot, but became more and more mixed up. Finally, Colonel Hathy bellowed, "Company, halt! Left face!" He walked down the line, inspecting the elephant's trunks. When he saw Mowgli, he muttered in confusion, "Well, a new recruit. I say, what happened to your trunk?" Suddenly realizing that Mowgli was no elephant, he blustered, "A man cub! Oh, this is treason! Sabotage!" "Colonel, the man cub is with me," explained Bagheera. "I'm taking him to the man village." "Good," said Hathi. "Remember, an elephant never forgets. Right face, forward, march!" The baby elephant, engrossed in talking to Mowgli, didn't hear the command. As the patrol began tramping away, Winifred, the mother elephant, told the colonel, "Dear, you just forgot our son." Picture 7. Looking back in dismay, Hathi mumbled, "Son, ooh, quite right. To the rear, march!" As the elephants wheeled and began marching toward the baby, Hathi strode ahead, picked up his son with his trunk, and scolded, "If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times." "Pop, look out!" shouted the baby. Behind Hathi's back, the obedient elephants were still marching, marching, marching. Viewmaster Reel 2. Picture 1. Crash! Thump! Huge pachyderm bodies piled into Colonel Hathi from the rear, falling all over one another and almost burying him. As Mowgli laughed hilariously and Bagheera frowned in disgust, the baby elephant piped up, "Pop, sir, you forgot to say halt." Picture 2. "Let's go," sniffed Bagheera. "The village is this way." He ran toward a small river. "I'm not going," declared Mowgli stubbornly. He threw his arms around a tree. "Oh, yes, you are," growled Bagheera, seizing the boy's breech cloth in his jaws and tugging hard. Suddenly a piece of cloth ripped free in Bagheera's mouth, and the panther tumbled backward into the water. He came up spitting. "That does it. From now on, you're on your own." Picture 4. As Mowgli walked sadly along, he heard a rhythmic song. "Dooby dooby doo." Up the path danced a bear, who said, "Well, what have we here?" "Go away, leave me alone," said Mowgli, slapping at him. "Tsk, tsk," said the bear. "Kid, you need to learn how to fight like a bear, and old Baloo's gonna teach you. Stand like I do. Now give me a big bear growl like this." He growled loudly. In the distance, Bagheera heard the growl and came racing back. "He's in trouble already," he said. Reaching the scene, he muttered, "Oh no, it's Baloo, that shiftless, stupid jungle bum." He settled on a branch above them, watching Baloo's boxing lesson with a scowl of disapproval. Picture 4. "You're lots of fun, Baloo," said Mowgli. "Can I stay in the jungle with you?" "You better believe it, little britches," said Baloo. "You're gonna make one swell bear. And just how do you think he will survive in the jungle?" asked Bagheera from his perch. "I learn him all I know," retorted Baloo. He began to dance and sing, "Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities of life." He showed Mowgli how to pick jungle fruits and look under rocks for bugs and ants to eat. Picture 5. As they reached a pool in the river, Baloo slid lazily in, floating on his back. Suddenly, 3 monkeys, who had been watching them in the trees above, swung down, grabbed Mowgli off Baloo's stomach, and carried the struggling boy away. Jumping to his feet, Baloo ran awkwardly through the water. "Take your flea-picking hands off my cub," he demanded. But the monkeys only laughed and pelted him with fruit. "Bagheera!" called Baloo. "Bagheera!" Picture 6. The monkeys carried Mowgli to an ancient ruined temple. They lowered him head first in front of a throne, on which sat a big orang-utan. "We got him, King Louie," they chattered. The king looked at the captive. "So you're the man cub? Have a banana? Word has grabbed my royal ear that you want to stay in the jungle." Mowgli brightened. "I sure do, and old King Louie can fix it for you," said the king. He hopped down from the throne and began a sketch song and dance. "I want to be a man like you, ho ho, what I desire is man's red fire. Give me the secret, man cub." By this time all the monkeys were singing and dancing along with King Louie and Mowgli. Just then a strange-looking ape, decked in palm leaves and coconut shells, joined the dance. All went well until the stranger's decorations began falling off. Then the monkeys shouted, "That's no ape, that's Baloo the bear." Picture 7. Then began a wild chase. Baloo seized Mowgli. King Louie jerked him away from Baloo and ran, with Baloo in hot pursuit. The king came to a corner pillar of the temple and grabbed it as he swung around to make a turn. When Baloo swung around it also, the pillar collapsed. Viewmaster Reel 3. Picture 1. Frantic to save his temple, the king set Mowgli down and ran to hold up the corner. With a fiendish grin, Baloo, who never could resist a gag, tickled the king, who broke into helpless laughter. As stones from the temple roof dropped all around them, Bagheera came leaping and Mowgli climbed onto his back. Baloo waved a cheery goodbye to the frustrated king as the 3 fled. Picture 2. Crash, thud, crash. The 3 looked back to see the ancient temple tumbling to the ground. The king was still standing, straining to hold up the corner, although the building was falling on all sides of him. "Man," said Baloo in appreciation, "that's what I call a swinging party." Picture 3. Next day, events happened swiftly. To begin with, Mowgli had run away and was lost in the jungle. He had been angry at Baloo because the bear, finally giving in to Bagheera, had agreed that Mowgli must return to the man village. And to make matters worse, Shere Khan, the dreaded tiger, had been seen lurking in this part of the jungle. The boy must be found. Even Colonel Healthy and his elephant patrol were crashing through the brush, searching for him. Meanwhile, Mowgli in his wanderings had met 4 friendly, clowning vultures who sang and danced to cheer him up. Suddenly, the vultures flapped to a tree in terror. Mowgli turned and looked into the cruel face of Shere Khan. Bravely, the boy faced the tiger. "You don't scare me," he said. "I won't run from anyone." Shere Khan sprang, but missed, for someone was hanging onto his tail. It was Baloo. Mowgli's faithful friends had come to the rescue. Bagheera seized the boy and carried him to safety. Thunder boomed. A storm was breaking. Picture 4. As Baloo and the tiger struggled desperately, lightning struck a nearby tree, which blazed up into flame. Shere Khan slammed Baloo onto the ground and pummeled him viciously. "Fire!" shrieked a vulture. "That's the only thing old Shere Khan afraid of." Mowgli ran to the tree, grabbed a flaming branch, and tied it onto the tiger's tail. With a horrible yowl, the big cat whirled in panic. He fled as fast as he could run. Picture 6. Poor Baloo. He lay in the gently falling rain, apparently dead. Mowgli began to cry. "Try to be brave like Baloo was," said Bagheera. "The memory of Baloo's sacrifice and bravery will forever be engraved on our saddened hearts." Baloo slowly opened his eyes, but no one noticed. Hearing the eulogy and realizing it was for him, he began shedding heavy tears. "This spot where Baloo fell will always be a hallowed place in the jungle," declaimed Bagheera. "Beautiful Baggy," sniffed Baloo. Bagheera looked at him in shocked amazement. "Why, you big fraud, you four-flusher." Picture 6. Just then a sweet voice began to sing. "I must go to fetch the water, till the day that I am grown." Mowgli, captivated, ran toward the sound. Peering through the bushes, he saw a girl about his age, walking down a path with a water jug on her head. "What's that?" he asked. "The man village," replied Bagheera. No, I mean that," insisted Mowgli, pointing to the girl. She had reached the water and was filling her jug. He climbed a tree. Crash! The branch broke and he splashed into the water in front of her. Picture 7. The girl jiggled, then looked at him coyly with her big brown eyes. She picked up the jug, set it on her head, and started back up the path, followed by Mowgli. Suddenly she dropped the jug, which rolled to Mowgli's feet. He refilled it, set it on his own head, hesitated, and turned to look at his animal friends. Baloo beckoned, "Come back," but Bagheera motioned, "Go on." Mowgli looked at the girl. She smiled. He followed her into the village. "He's where he belongs now," said Bagheera. "Yeah, I guess you're right," agreed Baloo. "Well, come on, Baggy buddy, let's get with the beat." They danced away together into the jungle singing, "Look for the bare necessities."